Okay, I'm back. Got this all done and ready. I'm going to show you a little bit about where you need to sew. Like I said, it's got to be right at the edge. Otherwise, you're going to have a mess. So you tack it down just a tiny bit on the edge. You follow the edges all the way around until you get all the way done. Hi there, I'm back. I got the sewing part done and trimmed it all around and turned it right side out. It is now ready to be stitched around the edges. And what you do to start out with, you're going to start here. Let me get this over just a little further. You're going to start here on any one of these. You want to start in the middle, and you're going to stitch in the ditch all the way around each petal until you get it completely done. You can use a contrasting thread here, like I said, or you can just use white thread, depending on what colors you're working with and how it would look. I haven't ironed this yet. You do want to iron this a little bit. Press it down just a little bit, but you don't need a whole lot. This is actually laying down really good since I opened up my seams. It's working so much better. Anyways, once you get all your stitching done, then you're going to decide what you want to use for your center. I'm going to use the white material for the center. I think that'll make it really, really pretty. I'm thinking of, I'm not sure. I think I might do a contrasting color, but I'm not, maybe in the center. Not on here. I think I'll use the white, and then maybe in the center I'll use a pink or maybe a yellow. There's blue. There's also green that would be really pretty also. Anyways, I just thought I'd show you this. Get started on sewing this, and when I get done with it, I'll bring it back. Alright, I'm ready to stitch this, and I thought I would show just a little bit. I'm not going to do it all on video, but I thought I would show you guys a little bit of what I'm talking about. You're going to get your material, get your plate in here, and you're going to start on one of your petals, and just you want to line your presser foot like the middle of the seam. You want your presser foot to go right down the middle of it, and my presser foot has a little notch right there that I can kind of line it up with. That way you know where you need to be when you're doing this. And you just start to stitch, and you just keep that little mark on your presser foot if you have it, but you want to make your presser foot go straight down the center of your seam. Then when you get down to the point, determine how far you want to go down on your material. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to line the edge of your material up with that little middle mark on your presser foot. And you're going to take it down until you get down to the point. You're going to stop it. You're going to turn it. You're not going to take it out. You're not going to break your thread or nothing like that. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to line that up again in the middle of your presser foot and go up to the next point. Then you're going to turn it. Make sure your material's not bunched up. Line that up, middle of the seam, and stitch. And you're going to do this on all the petals until you get them all completely stitched down. When you get to this particular point, you want to try to make sure that where you begin and where you end is about parallel with the other side of the petal. That way on the back it doesn't look funny or wonky looking. Then you're going to turn this around. You're not going to take the material out of the machine. You're going to lift your needle, pull it over, line your presser foot up with the middle of your fabric where your stitching is at, your seam, and then you're going to, and you don't really have to worry too much about those little threads because they're all going to be covered up by your circle that you put in the middle of your plate. Take your time with this step because this is your decorative part of your candle mat, so you want it to look really, really nice. If you don't get quite to the edge like you want, just move it up just a little bit. Line it up again with the edge of your material. Turn it down, line it up with your seam, and do the other side. You're going to continue to do this until you have all of your petals stitched down. And once I get done with mine, I'll be back. Hi there, I'm back. I have all of my stitching done around my Dresden plate. As you can see, I think it came out pretty good. Now I'm working on the circle. I have a little 4-inch circle that I can show you. What you do is you take your template and you decide what size circle you want. This is the 8-inch, this is the 6-inch, and this is the 4.5. You just decide which one you want to use. And in this case, I'm using the 6-inch. I did make a 4-inch thinking that maybe it might work, but it won't cover it all the way. So I've made the 6-inch. I'll use this 4-inch on something else. What you do is you just lay this template out on your material and trace inside. Then you're going to cut your circle out of the material that you want to use. Then you're going to use some of this interfacing. I buy just a light, very lightweight interfacing. You're going to sit your circle on top of that, and you're going to cut out an area around it for the circle. Then you want to sew 1/4 inch all the way around the edge. Then you're going to take and make a little hole in that interfacing and then flip it over. So you've got a real nice rounded edge for your center. Now what I'm doing is I've got mine centered where I want it. I normally take and fold it in half, crease it in the center, fold it in half again, and crease it so you get that little point right there. When you open this up, you're going to see the creases, and that's your center point of your circle. Then you want to measure. You can eyeball it if you want. Sometimes I'll eyeball it, but I'll try and get that down in there on that center, just like I want it. Then all I do is pin this together, just so it doesn't move around. And then what you do is you stitch around the edge, just around the edge of this. I use a decorative stitch on mine. Let me get my other one. I use this really pretty decorative stitch on this one, right along here, and a really pretty contrasting color. The color I picked for this is kind of the lime green. That's in this one right here, because it's throughout just about all of them. I think one panel doesn't have any green in it at all, but I thought I'd use that. I thought the green would be really pretty, and this would be real nice to put on your table for spring. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my decorative stitching, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, I'm back and it's done. I put the 6-inch circle on there, did a really pretty decorative stitching, and I added 4-inch circle in the middle, and I thought, oh, that's pretty. I really like that. Thinking about maybe making a little tiny circle here in one of these colors, just to put on top of it to make it, I don't know, just fancy it up a little more. Anyways, I hope you liked my tutorial. I had a lot of fun doing this. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.